Okay, this is First Samuel 22:17. And the king said unto the footmen that stood about him, turn and slay the priests of Yahweh Shai, because their hand also is with David, and because they knew when he fled, and did not shew it to me. But the servants of the king would not put forth their hand to fall upon the priests of Yahweh Shai. That kind of reminds me of when in Egypt, when the Pharaoh said to some midwives to kill the babies, the male babies that were born, but they said that they feared Yahweh Shai more than Pharaoh, so they didn't do his bidding, and in return Yahweh Shai gave them a family, So and the king said to Doeg, turn thou and fall upon the priests. And Doeg the Edomite turned, and he fell upon the priests, and slew on that day 75 persons that did wear a linen ephod. There you go, man. So he had an Edomite to do his dirty work, because I mean, it doesn't say what the reason was that the servants didn't kill the priests of Yahweh Shai, but they were probably scared of the repercussion that was going to come upon them and their house if they did kill these the priests. And Nob, the city of the priests, smote he with the edge of the sword both men and women, children and sucklings. That's little toddlers and babies, man. Think about that. Esau, he's been killing our women and children, just killing us all off, man. Because that's what that's in him, man. That's what he was bred to do. And sheep with the edge of the sword, oxen and asses and sheep with the edge of the sword. So there you go, man. Esau, he's engineered to be your enemy. And you Israelites need to wake up and see that the so-called white man, he doesn't have your best interest in mind. On the contrary, man, he hates you. He wants to see you die. He wants to see you in agony. He wants to see your blood spilling in the streets. Going into Esther. Esther 3:2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had commanded concerning him, but Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Then the king's servants which were in the king's gate said unto Mordecai, why transgresseth thou the king's commandment? Now it came to pass, when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, they told Haman to see whether Mordecai his matters would he stand, for he told them that he was a Jew. Then Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Then was Haman full of wrath. And there you go, man. Haman, he is a descendant of Agag, who was a Amalekite king, the king that Saul was supposed to kill, but he didn't do it. And you see this, man. It says, and when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then was Haman full of wrath. And that's what these Edomites hate, man. When the prophets are out on the street, and when we're trying to get right with our power, Yahweh Shai, they can't get with that. It makes them full of wrath that we're not bowing down to to a white Jesus, you know, because if there is a God, then it has to look like them. And if they see that image of what Yahushua really looks like, they can't get with that, man. So it's like it puts them in a state of just anger, you know, just seeing us trying to be right with our power, you know, really trying to worship, you know, it gets them mad, you know. Verse 6, and he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him that the people of Mordecai, wherefore Haman sought to destroy all Jews. Well, you see, first he wanted to kill just Mordecai, you know, for they had showed him that the people of Mordecai, wherefore Haman sought to destroy all Jews. But once he found out he was a Jew, he was like, nah, man, we got to put all these guys to death. You know, if this guy acts like this, how much more the whole nation, you know? And there were throughout the whole kingdom of Ahasuerus, even the people of Mordecai. This is skipping to verse 8. And Haman said unto the king Ahasuerus, there is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people, neither keep they the king's laws, therefore it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. There you go, man. That's what's going on now. You know, we got these Hamans, you know, we got people that even the king of Babylon, you know, putting forth these different laws, so we don't follow our power, Yahweh Shema Shai. And it tells you right here, it says that and their laws are diverse from all people, you know. And I forgot where it says, but it says that because of these laws, the nations say that we're like a wise people because we follow the laws of Yahweh Shema Shai, and that's what separates us from the rest of these heathen. You know, we have certain dietary laws, how we treat our brothers, how we handle certain situations, you know, and that's all through the word, man. That's what separates us from these heathens, and that's another reason why they don't like us, man, because we're not down with the laws of the king, you know, to a certain point, you know. Neither keep they the king's laws, you know, to a certain point. Therefore it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. So you see, it's not they don't want to put up with us because we don't follow the rules, you know. We're not cut from the same cloth, you know. And if it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed, and I will pay 10,000 talents of silver to the hands of those that have the charge of this business to bring it to the king's treasury. And the king took his ring from his hand and gave it to Haman, the son of Ammedatha the Agite, the Jews' enemy. And right there, man, they're putting forth their it's all been written, man, from Project Megiddo, you know, the FBI putting tracking us, you know, through different you know, Rex 84. That's another one. The new ones that I just found out about was Project Pogo and Zephyr. I can't remember the name, but it just goes into, you know, you getting tracked for certain things that you watch, certain things that you like, and then from there they're gonna the red list and the blue list and the yellow list. you know. So all these things have been written, man, and people don't believe in certain things that, oh, they call this conspiracy theories because they don't think that Esau would hurt them, you know. But on the contrary, man, these people hate you, man. Jumping down to 13, and the letters were sent. And the letters were sent by post unto all the king's provinces, to destroy, to kill, and to cause all to perish, and to cause to perish all Jews, both young and old, little children. There you go, man. Both young and old, little children and women. You see that, man? The same thing is repeating itself. They're trying to do away with the nation of Israel, so they be no more in remembrance. See, and in one day, even upon the 30th day of the 12th month, which is the month Adar, and to take the spoil of them for a prey. You know, and the copy of the writing for a commandment to be given in every province was published unto all people, and they should go ready that day. The post went out, being hastened by the king's commandment, and the decree was given in Shushan, the palace, and the king and Haman sat down and drank, but the city Shushan was perplexed. There you go, man. Now it's not physical posters. Now it's just an email, you know, gets sent directly, you know. And if it ain't that, they have websites, YouTube videos as well, you know. And you see, they were they sat down chilling, man. Haman, Haman just chilled, you know, probably drinking on some wine. But the city Shushan was perplexed. You know, it was confused, if I'm not mistaken. That's the word. Now I'm gonna jump down to chapter 5 and 9. Then went Haman forth that day joyful with a glad heart. So you know he was, you know, skipping around, la da 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 da. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the king's gate, that he stood not up nor moved for him, he was full of indignation against Mordecai. You know, he was, man, this guy ain't showing me reverence, man. He ain't gonna move in fear, because you know he's the king's right hand man. So you know he could put into action if you don't obey him. You know, he'll probably like make something up. You know, Edomites in their wicked ways. He'll lie on you, have you executed. You know. And he won't lose any sleep over that. But you see, he was full of indignation against Mordecai. You see, going back to what I said earlier, how they can't see us not worshiping their white Jesus, you know. Okay. Nevertheless, Haman refrained himself, and when he came home, he sent and called for his friends and Zeresh his wife. And Haman told of the glory of his riches and the multitude of his children, and all the things wherein the king had promoted him, and now he had advanced him above the princes and servants of the king. So, you know, he's just bragging, you know. That's a trait of Esau, always fucking proud. Haman said, moreover, Esther the queen did let no man come with the king, but the banquet that she prepared, but myself, and tomorrow I am invited unto her also with the king. And man, read this story, man. It's a good story. So you get a little bit more in depth. Yet all this availeth me not, as long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate. You know, so all these riches, man. He's a man of power. You know, so he has he has a family. You know, he has it says he got promoted. The king promoted him and advanced him above the princes and the servants of the king. So you know he's in high regards. And it says, "Yet all this availeth me nothing, as long as I see Mordecai the Jew sitting at the king's gate." So, man, just the sight of this Edomite, I mean, of an Israelite, this Edomite, just all that is nothing if Mordecai's alive, and he ain't even doing nothing, man. He could just be sitting there, just wiping the sweat off his forehead. And man, I hate how this motherfucker wipes his sweat off his forehead, just little shit like that. And that word availeth, avail, the definition for that is help or benefit. So none of that is benefiting him because Mordecai is alive. Then said Zeresh his wife and all his friends unto him, Let a gallows be made of 50 cubits high, and tomorrow speak thou unto the king, that Mordecai may be hanged thereon. Then go thou in merrily with the king unto the banquet. And the thing pleased Haman, and he caused the gallows to be made. There you go, man. He was gonna hang, and you see that was the wickedness of a woman, putting it in his mind, and oh, that sounds like a good idea, jump to chapter 7 and 9, and Harbona, one of the chamberlains, said before the king, Behold, all the gallows 50 cubits high, which Haman had made for Mordecai, who had spoken good for the king, standeth in the house of Haman. Then the king said, Hang him thereon. So they hanged Haman on the gallows that he had prepared for Mordecai. Then was the king's wrath pacified. So there you go, man. The devices. Here, I got a precept for that. This is Psalm 35 and 8. Let destruction come upon him at unawares, and let his net that he hath hid catch himself. Unto the very destruction let him fall. So, in the story, he was having a good time, thinking that his plan was going to roll out, without any bumps in the road, so to speak. But the Most High had it different, man. The same device that he wanted to kill Mordecai with. That's the same thing that he ended up dying with. And this is Herod, the Edomite. We'll jump into to Yahweh's time now. And Herod, he was an Edomite, he was a Jewish convert put in power by the Romans, man. He was the son of Antipater of Edom, Idumea. Edom is Greek for red, Idumea. This is Matthew chapter 2, verse 1. Now, when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea, in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east of Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? That we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. So yeah, man, he wasn't trying to lose his rulership. I was reading up on Herod, and he he killed some of his sons because he believed they were trying to assassinate him. So he wasn't trying to lose that. He wasn't trying to lose his rulership. And he thought that the birth of Yahushua would mess that up. So Slakia. And they said, this is verse 4. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where Hamashiach should be born. And they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, and thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. So you see, that's what he was afraid of. Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared, and he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child, and when ye found him, bring me word again that I may come and worship him also. But you see, he was lying, man. He really wanted to put male children to death, male babies to death. This is Psalms 51 and 21. So like here 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. And that's something you have to find out, that these Edomites, man, they hate you. They really want war, but they come out with nice words, tell you these things to keep your guard down. But at the end, it says that yet they were drawn swords, talking about his words, man, because he's really trying to put you to death. This is Sirach 12 and 10. Says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed, and beware of him, that thou shalt be unto him as if thou wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. So you see, man, iron is it gets rusty, leave it outside, it'll start to rust, and he says he's going to humble himself and go crouching, really humbling himself, take good heed, and beware of him, that thou shalt be unto him as if thou wiped a looking glass. You got to have a clear sense of what your opponent, because knowing that he's your opponent, and then that'll let you know that you're not even supposed to trust him. Thou shalt know what his rust have not been altogether wiped away. So you see, man, that rust is still there. His wickedness, man. This is Jeremiah 13 and 23. can the Ethiopian change his skin, or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. There you go, man. A leopard cannot change his spots, neither an Ethiopian his skin. So you see, then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil. And Esau is accustomed to do evil, man. So they know doing good. And if he does good, you know, he got an ulterior motive. You know, he's got something planned behind that. You know, this is Ecclesiastes 7:13. Consider the work of the Most High, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? So there you go, man. Esau, he has been crooked, man, and which he hath made crooked is a phrase, and it's Hebrew H5791, and it's falsifying, turned upside down. So you see, man, Esau, he's always falsifying. If it's not records, then you know it's history. Everything that will benefit him, you know. So now going into Yahushua, the Romans who you know, disrespected Yahushua. Going into Mark 15 and 16. And the soldiers led him away unto the hall called Praetorium, and they called together the whole band. So you see, man, the soldiers, you know, they were calling them in. There was a few of them, but then they called the whole band, you know, which is like the army, man, the more soldiers. And they clothed him with purple and patted a crown of thorns and put it on his head. You know, purple is a royal color, you know, and that crown of thorns, and put it in his head, and began to salute him. Hail the King of the Jews! But they were mocking him, you know. They were degrading him, you know. And they clothed and began 19, and they smote him on the head with a reed, and did spit on him, and bowing their knees worshipped him. See, this is they're just messing around, you know. And when they had mocked him, they took off the purple from him, and put his own clothes on him, and led him to crucify him. So you see, man, this is what they did to our Lord and Savior, man. So how much more you? They're gonna really put hard ones on you, man. See, like Yahushua said, the servant is not greater than his master, you know. So if he went through this, how much more you know. This is John 19 and 23. John 19 and 23. Then the soldiers, when they had crucified Yahushua, took his garments and made 4 parts, to every soldier a part, and also his coat. Now the coat was without seam, woven from the top throughout. Jump down to 31. The Jews, therefore, because 19 and 31. Yeah, John 19 and 31. And the Jews thereof, because it was because was the preparation that the body should not remain upon the cross on the Sabbath day, for the Sabbath day was on high day, besought Pilate that their legs might be broken and that they may be taken away. You know, I was reading up on crucifixions, and the reason why they would break their legs was to kill them, so they couldn't support their weight. So you would just put all your weight, and you wouldn't be able to breathe, you know. And another thing was they wanted to take them down because of the Sabbath. You know, it's like the law says that you're supposed to not let a body stay hanged up on a tree till before the next day, you know, nightfall starts, you know. And then came the soldiers and brake the legs of the first and of the other, which was crucified with him. But when they came to Yahushua and saw that he was dead already, they brake not his legs. But one soldier with a spear pierced his side, and forthwith came out blood and water. So really, you know, he was just trying to see if he was really dead, you know. But he pierced his side, and it probably wasn't even like a little small stab. He really, you know, thrusted it in him, you know, to make sure he was really alive, you know. They you know, they were just trying to see if he was dead. And you know, Yahushua is gonna come back, and he's gonna get his revenge, man. He's been waiting for, you know, and rightly so, because that's our Lord and Savior, you know. And you disrespected him that way, you know, mocking him, you know, you spit on him, putting a crown of thorns on his head, calling him King of the Jews, you know. But I'm gonna just get one couple scriptures, and this is Isaiah 63 and 1. Right here, this is Yahushua, man. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel. So, you know, Basra is an ancient city of Edom, you know. But nowadays it's Washington D.C., you know, so, Babylon, you know, because that's where that's where the book of the Israelites are, you know. So he's gonna free his servants, you know. Lord willing, we're part of that number. And glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. So yeah, man, he's gonna be traveling in these in the greatness of his strength, which are the chariots of the Most High, which you may know as UFOs. You know, seeing different lights in the sky. You know, just look up at night. You know, if it's a clear night, look up and see. If the Most High wants you to watch some chariots, man. Those are our big brothers, man. The angels, you know, zipping by, doing different formations, you know, whether they be big or little. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like them that treadeth in the wine fat. There you go, man. His apparel's gonna be red, man. From you know, from all the blood, you know. He's gonna stomp you out like grapes. I have trodden the winepress alone, and for the people that were none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. You know, right here, look, for the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And it's a phrase of my redeemed, which is H 1350, and it is to be of next of kin, and as such to buy back a relative, marry his widow. So you know, Salakia, it says the year of my redeemed is come. So where those like in the law, it states that if your kinsman is in slavery and you have money to buy him out, that you could buy his his freedom, you know. And also to marry his widow, man. He's the bridegroom, and we're the bride, man. So to marry his widow, you know, like the law also states that, you know, you had to sleep with your dead dead brother's wife, so the line, so your line could continue, you know, so you won't lose the name, your family name, you know, of the tribe, you know. But you know, that was it. So I hope you found this edifying, you know. With that being said, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem HaKakodash, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai. Shalom.